Hey everyone, it's Divine here from Mercs.com, and today I'm bringing you the second video in my merchanting review series. This episode is about Botany Bay, which is quite a difficult subject as people were unsure what to expect beforehand. The actual results were also not even close to what Jagex claimed they would be, so this makes reviewing this update very difficult. I'll be showing you a bunch of examples to give you an idea of why things went the way they did, and why some investment items worked whereas others did not. Enjoy the video and let's get started. Now, as you all know, Jagex has been talking about another bot nuke for a long time. They kept delaying it, and they were saying they were working on it, and this made it very difficult to invest for it, because you didn't really know when exactly it would be around, and you don't want to be stuck with your investments for ages. It was also a very important update for merchants, because there was no bonus XP weekend, and merchants really need these big updates to turn the market upside down and make a lot of profit. Now let's get on to the first example, which is Sorcerer's Garden, one of the few places where Jagex was actually successful. There used to be these endless streams of bots going from the fountain to the herb patch, and that was responsible for the majority of the herb stock in the market. Now, it was pretty funny if you would run here and you would do something like I'm doing here. Yeah. You would lure an elemental like that and you would instantly get so many bots caught. That was pretty funny. Yeah, herbs all rose really a lot, but as I said, we didn't really know when to expect this update. As you can see here, the graph, it starts pretty low, like here it's even 300 each and then instantly up to 1.1k each. And yeah, they started around 700 each and they ended at triple that price. It's ridiculous, and all herbs follow this pattern. Like if you look here at the clean Ranar, for example, these are live prices on merch.com, and you can see how it starts around 2k and how it ends at over 4k each. It's pretty ridiculous. If you invested your bank here, you pretty much doubled it. Now on to the next example, which is the chinchompa. It's pretty funny how there's one stuck over there. As you can see, it's bots, and more bots. And oh, another bot. Now I can keep on hopping, and I'll never find an empty world here. And as you can see, Jagex completely failed to make a proper nuke and this part here. I'm not sure why these are not nuked and why the Sorcerer's Garden ones are. And that counts for pretty much every bot there still is. Like, I don't know why those are still around and others are gone. But that's up to Jagex. Waiting for them to nuke a certain bot might take a very long time because we really don't know how far this will go. They said they would have everything implemented by the end of September, which has passed, and which is why this video is so late, but not that much happened really. Like, as you can see, it's just completely flooded with bots here still. Yeah, it's pretty sad to see this. Now, despite this, Red Chinchompa still made a very nice rise, but this is all due to panic and big talk about the update and a lot of people investing, including myself. So yeah, I invested too. They rose from like 600 to 1k each or something, but that is nowhere near as big as last time. As you can see here, they rose from like 400 each to 2k each after the bot nuke. And this is because, as you can see here on this volume graph, after the last bot nuke, like the amount of stock in the market just went to 20% of the previous one, and right now it's back up to previous bot nuke levels. When I went to upload my pictures to my flipping log, I had to fill in this picture here. This is quite funny. It's a coincidence, I guess. It was a tiny pic. And yeah, here's my first investment on my first account, which was a really nice profit. I sold them at 990 each because I didn't really think they would rise any further. I wasn't convinced that Jagex would nuke all the bots because they never really clearly said that. Until the point in their live stream, I believe, where they said they would nuke 98% of all the bots, but then again they never gave a time frame. So after discussing with Snow a lot, I realized I wanted to sell them for my 1.15 mil profit in total, and I'm very happy I did in the end because it crashed back down and the bots are still here, and there may even be more because bots from other places will be moved to the chins. Now let's get on to the next place, which is green dragons. Now let me follow my good friend XJPay010 here while I show you the historical graph for the dragon bones. I get these from RS Wiki. They have really old data which can be very useful, as it has the prices from 2009 included, but what we're looking for here is obviously the bot nuke point, which is there, and as you can see they rose really a lot. If you take the volume graph with it, it's really easy to see why these things happen. These graphs are really good to see how heavily some things are botted, as they show the amount traded weekly. Before the previous bot nuke, you can see how high this was and how it went to like 20% of the original amount after the bot nuke, which just shows how much is brought in by bots here. And a lot of graphs follow the exact same pattern as these two. For example, the green dragonhide graph. Yeah, previous bot nuke, doubled in price, pretty ridiculous. But what's even more ridiculous is the volume graph. As you can see, right after the bot nuke here, the item completely disappeared from the top 100 most traded items. This just shows how almost everything was brought in by bots, and still not dealt with, and right now they're back up to almost their previous levels. Now, to know which item to invest in, these graphs are really useful, because you can see how much of it is actually brought in by bots, like how much impact it has, but Jagex reliability on what bots they nuke is not really helpful in this case. I'm back with my friend XJP010 here. Say hello to YouTube and introduce yourself, sir. Which is obviously not going to happen. I'm just going to follow him here. He's probably going to go to the Chaos Tunnels, which is not as popularly botted as the ones in the deeper wilderness, I assume. And a lot of bots nowadays go to the blue dragons as it's safer. And there used to be so many PKers for the green dragon bots. As you can see, less popular spots, still bots here. It's probably the case on every world too. Yeah, blue dragons, same thing. I'm cuddling with one here, by the way. And, oh, there's actually a non-bot there, the guy in the elite black stuff. And one with Polybor. Anyways, the rest is all bots. Doesn't matter what world you go to, it's all completely flooded. And I'm gonna go into the resource engine, because that's where it's even worse, like there's just one bot per dragon, or in some cases even more. Frost dragons, same thing. Bots, and more bots, and they use cannons too. And it's like this on every world. You can go see for yourself, it's just terrible. Now, of course, not everything that's botted is really straightforward, like dragon bones or red chinchompas. For example, here you have the tortoise shell. After the last bot nuke went to triple their price, or even more, and I'm pretty sure 90% of the stock is brought in by bots in this case. And yeah, these graphs are really, the historical graphs are useful to see how much of an impact the bot nuke has on the market, on the item you want to invest in. It clearly shows that for some items they didn't rise a whole lot, whereas others did. Of course, times change, so some items may be different now than they were back then. But and overall, that's a useful tool to see what to invest in, but it doesn't guarantee you that it will rise, because Jagex is very unclear with their nuking. Ew, well that escalated quickly. As you can see, there's bones on the ground here, which means there was just someone here. There's usually 2 bots per world. On every world, if you can look them up in the high scores, they all have like 30 mil XP in all combat skills. You can report them all you want, it's not going to change much. I showed you the graph earlier for tortoises, and it really looks like a good investment opportunity, but you're going to have to wait for Jagex to nuke them, which is probably going to take a long time. And this is a bot here. You can look him up, he probably has ridiculous stats. And these guys just sit here all day killing them, and bring in the majority of the stock for this item. So again, it looks like a good investment opportunity, but you don't know what Jagex is going to do, and in that case, it's kind of not so smart to invest in these. Time to go to the next example, which is the living rock caverns. A lot of you know about this one. Like, if you look at this mass of people here, do you notice the blue in there? All those level 50 guys in Mithril. And I time it perfectly here, as there's just a blue river of bots running from the one mining spot to the other one. Now on to the next example, which is Gromwell spikes. Now clearly not everything can be explained by the graphs, because these guys, they crash a lot due to botting again. As you can see in the past After the past bot nuke, they rose really a lot, from like 300 each to 1.8k each or something. But when you go look now at all the botting spots in every world, they're empty. There are no grand mal bots, nowhere, none of them. So I guess Jagex nuked them, but their current prices don't show that at all. I mean, they're still around like 700 each, so it's pretty strange. I'm not really sure why this is happening. Really unpredictable. I would have expected them to rise a lot. And to the next example, the Royal Dragonhide, and these did rise a lot because, yeah, the Royal Dragonhide was mostly dropped by these grotworms, and there used to be 2 bots per grotworm or something in every world, 24/7, because they would drop a lot of rune items, not so much for the hides, but those rune items added up to like 1 mil per hour, which was good for bots, I guess. And as you can see, Jagex was successful in these. Again, I have no clue why they were successful on grotworms but not on dragons, for example. It makes no sense, but then again, it's Jagex we're talking about here, so yeah. Now, there is one more thing I'd like to talk about here upon popular request, which are rares. You can see our live graphs here on merch.com, and the reason I'm talking about these is because people have been asking me why rares rose, because they assume they should be crashing, as a lot of bots got nuked, which means a lot of gold leaves the game. But that's not the case, because a lot of bots did not get nuked, and a lot of people sold off their investments that didn't work out the way they wanted, or maybe they did, and they decided to invest in rares right after that. As you can see on the graph here, this is just the purple partyhat one for 15 days, and yeah, it's pretty much the same for all the other rares too. As you can see, blue mask here. Let's go to the graph. Yeah, as you can see, it's a big increase as well. And they all follow this same pattern because usually when high-level merchants have a lot of cash left over, they look at rares, and rares happen to be low, so it kind of gets the ball rolling. And as you can see here in the disk graph, I assume they did the same, and yeah, they did. So I guess that's the reason why this is happening, and hopefully this answers your questions, guys. So to conclude from this video, be careful what you invest in, because things Jagex say may not always turn out the way you think they will. Probably the most useful tip in this video were the historical graphs, and also the ones for the volumes. You can really use that to see which items are good to invest in and what's heavily influenced by bots. Alright, well, I hope you learned something from this video, and follow us on Facebook, check out our latest updates and our merchanting advice and things like that. Check out our free trial on our website. You might make some money too. It's really a useful tool, and the trial's free, so why not give it a try. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye!